Have a look, if you will, at the 2023 Mr. Olympia competitors list. As of last night, yesterday, they handed out the last two qualifications, the last two tickets to this event to Theo LaGuerrier and Charles Griffin. But we'll get to those guys. We are going to list off all of the competitors one by one. Obviously, we'll reminisce on how they got qualified or how they qualified for the Olympia. And then I'm going to break these guys up into groups. We'll say callouts with no actual predictions. And then it'll make it easier for when I actually do my prediction, my final prediction video. I'll just list off where I see all these guys in a certain placing. But any which way, guys, there's no surprises here. Number one is Hattie Shupin, and I placed him first because he's the man. He's the champion. He is the man to beat. It is his title, and it is fitting that he is number one because he is number one. He's not ranked number one. He's the champion. So, yes, it is Hattie Shupin's title to regain or lose. Competitor number two. Now, Brandon Curry, he was qualified back in 2019 after he won the Olympics. Qualified for life, so he was actually qualified for this event before the likes of Hattie Shupin. And if you look to competitor number three, Brett Wilkin, he, truth be known, was qualified even before Hattie Shupin. He was qualified at a Olympia qualifier before the Olympia at the Big Man. Was it the Big Man weekend, I believe? I'm just going by memory here. I should have wrote it down, but I figure I should at least know how these guys qualified. And I think it was the Big Man. And he was even qualified before last year's Olympia. So kudos to Brett Wilkin, competitor number four. Now here we get into the top five of last year. Derek Lunsford, he placed second at the Olympia, automatically qualifying him for this year. Nick Walker, this is a picture of him from the Arnold's Classics. I don't know why I used that. That was his last performance. But he placed, like Derek Lunsford, he placed into the top five. He got third last year's Olympia, so he was automatically qualified. Samson Dauda just fell out of that top five, so he had to qualify. And he did with meaning. He actually beat Nick Walker at the Arnold's Classics. Come on, Samson. I like your physique, so do it. Samson, he won the Arnold Classic. What a way to get into this event. Competitor number seven, Beiruz Tabani. He won the Arnold Classic, Brazil. Get to the Chapa, but he is having some visa issues. Not exactly sure if he is going to make it or not. I hope he does. I'm sure the rest of the competitors hope he does not. Tonio Burton, this guy is the New York Pro Champion, and the range of placings that he could land, there's quite a distance there. This guy could really get into those top positions for sure, but we'll see where I have him. Competitor number 9, Ross Flanagan. He's our man. If nobody can do it, nobody will, or nobody can. Ross, he's your Cali Pro champion, and I like how everybody here is a winner. They're all, they all won their pro show. Like Michael Crizo. Let my people pose. This guy's your M Pro champion. Your M Pro winner. Competitor number 11. Now, there's certain guys on here that, this is Phil Clahar, and there's certain guys on here that did actually lose along the way to certain guys, but they kept at it, and they did win their shows, like the Orlando Pro for Phil Clahar, and he beat he beat at least one guy that we'll look at in a minute. Go over to the other side. Andrea Presti, he is your Mr. Big evolution. Always get, obviously, the Mr. Big and the Big Man that Brett Wilkin won. This guy could be a wild horse. Here's your horse, Grey Big Hassan Mustafa, and he is the guy that I was talking about that Phil Clahar actually defeated. But that was the Orlando, and the Vancouver Pro is where Hassan the Colonel Crunch got his ticket for the Olympia, and he was improved, in my opinion. Justin Shire, he is sheer good, and he is competitor number 14. This guy won the Chicago Pro, and a lot of people, including myself, did not see him coming. A lot of you guys did. You told me in the comment section below of my Chicago Pro prediction video, but heck, sorry, Justin. Yeah, Chicago Pro champion. Roman Fritz. If there was a points guy here, he would be it, but he didn't need no points. He was your big man pro, much like Brett Wilkin. I guess there's 2 big man pro champions at this year's Olympia. Hard to say. Competitor number 16, Hunter Labrada. He is your Tampa Pro champion. And that was a good show to win. But then, the next show, the Texas Pro. It was Andrew Jack coming out ahead, and he actually got a victory over Hunter Labrada. So on paper, you know what I'm saying? On paper, it looks like Andrew Jack could get a higher place than Hunter Labrada. That would be a first. Competitor number 18, Kamal El Garne, and he is a wild card. He's a wild card, and he's another guy that could easily switch and go to the 212 division. But I think he's set. I think he's going to finish off his career, I think, in the open class. Give it a go in the open class. He won the Masters Olympia. So we got to have a Masters Olympia champion at the Mr. Olympia event, right? Competitor number 19, Nathan Diasha. He qualified all over the place this year. He qualified at the Italy Flex Pro, or the Flex Pro Italy, I believe they called it, and then the Chiru France, placing second along the way to this dude here. This is, of course, Regan Grimes, competitor number 20. Very popular bodybuilder, but he is also, he's susceptible to losing to quite a few of these guys, considering he did lose along the way. Placing second to Nathan Diasha, of course, he got that victory back at the Europa Spain, and that's how Regan qualified. Competitor number 21, Theo Laguerriere. He was second to last. He just qualified just yesterday at the Mount Olympus on Mars. No. It was the Italian Olympus Pro. So kudos to Theo Laguerriere. He's another one of those guys. Would have been a points guy, but he did not need those points. Qualified anyway. The Legion Sports Fest champion, Charles Griffin. He was pretty peeled, I have to say. He won the Legion Sports Fest, making him the final competitor. Your very last guy to qualify for the 2023 Olympiad. So that's it, guys. That's your 22 competitors. And now I'm going to set it up into callouts. And this is not necessarily my predictions. This is how I believe that these guys realistically rank. So it's not necessarily my predictions, although it will be a base for my overall prediction list. But this is the last call out, with all due respect, but hear me out. There is going to be a group of gentlemen right after this, and between these two call outs, it could go either which way. And I'll say that all these guys are going to fall out of the top 12. This is Roman Fritz, Theo Laguerriere. We have Great Big Phil Clahar, Tonio Burton, and of course that is Justin Shire at the end. And it honestly, guys, these gentlemen here, and on paper, Phil Clahar actually beat a guy that'll be in the next call out. So realistically, he could very well get into this group of gentlemen. We have Kamal El Garne, Ross Flanagan, he's our man, the Colonel Colonel Crunch, Hassan Mustafa. And no, I didn't size this one correctly because Brett Wilkin, he's massive here. Look at the size of him. He's not 6'5". He's not 6'5". Andrea Presti there at the end. So, yeah, guys. Tonio Burton, like I said, Phil Clahar. Any one of those guys. Theo could get into this group. So, realistically, this pile of world-class bodybuilders, I believe, will fall out of your top 12. But I would suggest the guy that's going to win between all of these guys has a good shot at getting into the top 12. Oh, hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news, breaking news. Brett Wilkin has just announced, the making of this video, he just announced that he is not competing at the Olympia. So it is good news for your Phil Clahars, your Tonio Burtons, your Ross Flanagans, all of these guys. Because obviously it's going to make it all that much easier to slip into your top 12. And this is what I like to call your third call out. And these four gentlemen, could you imagine a pro show, like a New York Pro or something of that nature, with all these four studs competing? Charles Griffin, he means business. Regan Grimes, the judges love his physique. What can I say? Hey, he's good. He's huge. He's massive, guys. We have Nathan Diasha. It's going to be very interesting between Nathan Diasha and Regan Grimes. The rematch will be the third time around. And we have Behruz Tabani. He is, in my opinion, a total wild card. He may even slip out of this group. But I don't know. He could actually defeat everybody here. You don't know. And that's what makes the Olympia so exciting. And now we get into some controversial calls. We get to the second call out. And I know, I can hear you guys right now. Brandon Curry out of the first call out. Hey, any one of these gentlemen may be my ultimate prediction to win the entire show. That says anything to you guys. Michael Crezo, along with Brandon Curry and Andrew Jacked, and what the heck? Toss in Hunter Labrada, and this makes up your second call out. Now, don't kid yourself. Any one of these gentlemen, you've seen the thick nature of that third call out. I mean, any one of these guys could slip and lose to one of those guys, but ultimately, one of these gentlemen could get into your first call-out situation. Namely, Brandon Curry, but hey, Andrew Jacked, he's right there too. Keep in mind, Andrew Jacked has a victory over Hunter Labrada. But that could be nor here nor there. Wasn't on the Olympia stage. Cannot wait, guys. So that just leaves one piece of business, or actually four great big muscular pieces of businesses. This is Derek Lunsford, Hattie Shupin, Samson Dauda for the first time, Nick Walker for the second time, getting into that first call-out situation. Well, I guess Samson, they had a big first call-out, but we'll say top 5. I think these gentlemen are, realistically, if you're a betting man, it's on paper, this is your top 4. Now, like I said earlier, Brandon Curry could win the Olympia. He could. And Andrew Jacked, could he win the Olympia? He could get into this group. That's for darn sure. And if you can get into the group, it's scientifically possible. But let's face it, this is going to be on most people's radar for your first call-out situation. So basically, I agree with all of that. Situations, my call-outs, things of that nature. But like I said, I will do a straight-up prediction video. I won't be announcing the entire competitors list. I'll do we'll say top 10. I'll do a top 10 prediction for the Olympia. right before the show, we'll say, like the week before. But it is the Olympia. It's not just a pro show, so it is worth doing a couple of videos. And yeah, Derek Lunsford, he could beat Hattie Shupin. Samson Dauda, he could beat Hattie Shupin too. And Derek Lunsford could beat Samson. Nick could beat the whole works of them. Looks good for us fans. It looks very difficult for Hattie Shupin to retain his title, but anything can happen. Anything can happen. And we will all find out in less than 4 weeks, guys. The time is ticking down. Hit thumbs up on the video. Obviously, in the comment section below, let me know. Let us all know your top 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, heck, 22. Oh, yeah, 21. Brett Wilkin. That's a shame. Hit thumbs up, subscribe. Have a nice one.